Jon and Jason's Creepy Corner.
Great. Okay, so explain what the hell we're doing.
Sure.
Sure, and then you just sit there for 5
Because
minutes.
I had food in my mouth.
Which one? Well, okay, so for any reason, the Came I'm Scared's videos, well, video, I guess, recently.
No, we have both up on the channel.
Well, whatever. If you guys have watched our videos, we are basically fanfic readers who read really obscure fanfics. Very weird ones. We'll try to link you to the video somewhere, maybe description, might be on the screen, or you could probably just go to our channel and find them somewhere, who knows. But we decided because we wanted to do something different. So, I don't know how often we'll do this, guys, but we're going to try to do as often as we can. We might take suggestions of stuff to read from you guys as long as it's not, like, over the top. Because we don't want no big, weird stuff.
As long as it's not cupcakes or Rainbow Factory, we're okay.
Good thing I jumped out of there, because guys, if you did see the Rainbow... Did you actually record that?
No.
Well, guys, they were going to read Rainbow Factory earlier. I'm just going to give a quick backstory before we get into what we're actually doing. And I had to jump out and leave right, like, before John sent over everything that they were going to read, and I was like, good thing I left.
No, they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do a creepypasta.
But, so I said, because I've always loved creepypastas stuff.
Yeah,
they're all cool. So I went through today, and a few minutes ago, because John was telling me about it, and I said, we'll start up a different little segment on the channel where basically we will read creepypastas and, like, grimdark fan fictions and just other random crap that we decide to read, just me and John, or me, John, and Brian, or me, John, and whoever, or, whatever. So we'll be doing that.
And for right now, what we're calling it is Jon and Jason's Creepy Corner.
Yes, so we might have guests, like I said, we might have Brian, or we might have other people in here, we don't know. If this channel gets popular, guys, which I doubt it will, just because we're weird as shit, we might start doing, like, Q&As and stuff like that. I don't know, like, if there's any other stuff that we're going to do besides fanfictions on here. Probably not. But we'll do creepypastas and fanfictions, which are basically the same freaking thing, almost. So tonight we're reading creepypastas. This one is called My Little Pony: The Theory. We'll be doing MLP-related stuff, Harry Potter-related stuff, and there'll probably be a bunch of other stuff that we read throughout the next couple months. By the way, guys, if you want, we will link the creepypasta page that we got this from in the description box if you want to follow along, or if you want to read yourself instead of listening to two idiots read it, you can. So, this is the theory. If you like this, we'll do the other theory videos. There's about 50 other ones that I could think of. But this one was the most creepy in my opinion. I heard it about 2 or 3 years ago from creepypasta, and it scared me. And by the way, guys, if you don't know who this is, I was on crying in the background of the first videos.
Yeah, for everyone who watched, like, the other one that we did without Jason, this is Jason. This is who we were talking about, who said he was going to go bleach his brain.
Yes, guys, and I want to bring this up because I know a lot of people are probably going to comment, because I haven't watched the video. Well, I watched the I'm a Wizard video, like, the first day it was out, so I don't know if anyone's commented on it. I'm an actor, so I was acting a little more over the top than how bad it actually was. In my opinion, I had fun with it, so that's all that matters. So if I did anything offensive to anyone, I'll apologize for that now, because I'm just an idiot. So, anyways, let's get to the fic, or the creepypasta, and I'll read down the entire thing, and we'll just react as we go along. Okay. If you hear that, guys, that's my squeaky chair, so I'm very sorry for that. Okay. You all have probably know about the new generation of My Little Pony, friendship is magic. It has for one reason or another become an overnight sensation. Whether or not you like the show yourself, you have to admit that its success is impressive. However, it raises the question. Lauren Faust has worked on other popular shows and Boy Scout Girls. How did she wind up creating a remake of some 80s toy commercial instead of working on her own show ideas? It could be that she's just nostalgia for her childhood MLP toys or something, but even then, what artist wouldn't rather work on their own ideas? I read this news story a few years ago about 6 girls who went to the same school and died on the same day, January 18th, 1989. A friend from North Carolina sent me the article in a small local newspaper. I forgot about it until I started watching a few episodes of My Little Pony and realized the main characters are surprisingly similar to the girls who died. I decided to look for that article again. The paper had either gotten shut down or I had misremembered the name. So I tried tracking down my old World of Warcraft buddy and asked him for the article. It turned out he happened to have saved the file on his computer. And I was right. There was a definite connection here. The first girl, named Samantha Gales, was obviously the inspiration for Fluttershy, a shy, introverted girl. What her classmates didn't know was that she was constantly abused at home by her mother and stepfather. Her mother conceived her at the age of 15, and she blamed poor Samantha for ruining her life. This made Samantha self-conscious. When her stepfather moved in, this made her look like worsen. Her stepfather never liked having to take care of Samantha when her mother was away. So he would lock her in the basement and leave her, sometimes for a whole day. Her mother tolerated this and, as she grew, would hit Samantha for talking out of turn. When her half-sister was born, the abuse became considerably worse. She would be starved, forced to sleep outside, and sometimes beaten outright. Because she dressed in shabby clothes and had low self-esteem, she was often picked on by the other kids at school. Her only friends were animals that she would rescue, which her family would make her get rid of. She committed suicide by overdosing on Valium.
Aww.
If you think that's bad, guys, it gets worse. There are worse death scenes than that.
Sad. That's so sad.
You're going to be crying by the end of this. Okay. The second name, Janice Walters, was always one of the popular names was snapped on impact and she died instantly. She was clearly the inspiration for Rarity. Then there's Alexandria Matthews. Alex was a competitive girl. She always sought to be the best of the best, especially in sports, track in particular. Her father always wanted a boy, and since her mother was incapable of having another child, he decided to raise her as if she was his son. In the end, though, he loved her mother and father, and was even happy to play sports with her father. She excelled at them even. This made her popular, and by the time she was in high school, was being sought out by athletic scouts from colleges all over the country. This made her try even harder. She had always wanted to compete in the Olympics. However, when she was 15, her mother, who had been told she could never have another child, had a son. After that, her parents didn't pay very much attention to her, which made her more determined to succeed. She ended up pushing herself so hard at track, she neglected her friends, her grades, and even her personal health. At one point, she became so desperate and started taking steroids. What her and her family didn't know was that she had a minor heart condition that the steroids wasn't. So she was pushing herself so hard. So she was pushing herself so hard physically as well. She ended up collapsing during a match due to the heart complication. She died in the hospital a few days later. In the show, Rainbow Dash seems to... Okay, the girl most similar to Applejack, Jamie Sanders, was a farm girl, just like the character based off of her. What the show didn't include was that her farm was run down, and her family always struggled with money. She oftentimes worked odd jobs under the table to try to help support her family. She had many brothers and sisters, and she was the second, which meant it was up to her and her brother to take care of the youngins. I'd like to say that. She didn't have enough time to hang out with her friends or take any extracurricular activities, or even do her homework on those nights. She had an aunt whom her family from Manhattan was based off, or Manhattan, sorry. That's all right.
No,
I
it's
kept
Manhattan.
Shut up, John. Who kept offering to send money to support her mother and father, but they were proud and always refused. That is, until her father died from a heart attack in 1987. Her mother followed shortly after, having killed herself when she couldn't handle the pressure of taking care of all of the children. They were taken in by their then senile grandma, who was incapable of truly taking care of them. Jamie herself oftentimes helped out with other families' yards, or to keep her family afloat. She died when she fell into a wood chipper.
Whoa.
I tried not to laugh at that, but that's pretty hilarious. I'm a horrible person.
No, it's just because it just came out of nowhere. It was like, a wood chipper, what the heck?
She died and fell into a wood chipper, unfortunately for her. Anyways, Pinky's inspiration probably has the saddest story. Catherine Jackson was a foster child and lived from home to home. Her birth father killed her mother and himself in a fit of rage when she was 5, and she could never quite settle into a good home. Some of the foster families who would take her in were merely interested in the financial support adopting a child would bring, and would refuse to feed or clothe her. Even when she was in a nice home with a good family, the old memory still haunted her, breaking her fragile sanity into a million pieces. She would have nightmares of her mother screaming and bleeding and her father screaming for her, claiming to be after her next. By the time she was in high school, she completely snapped. She started to hallucinate and act out in class. Many of the other kids and even teachers assumed she was merely hyperactive and was trying to be funny. She would oftentimes paint and draw and write about fantastical things and dressed in over-the-top clothing. All the while, her condition was getting worse and worse, the voices and image becoming more realistic and more demanding. She died when she jumped off a building, one of the voices having told her she could fly. What makes this last fact even more chilling is that Lauren originally designed Pinkie Pie to be a Pegasus, as seen in her early development sketches, which I'll try to find the sketches, guys, and put them somewhere on the screen so you guys can actually see them. The last, Twilight Sparkle's inspiration was an A student by the name of Cynthia Little. She was held up to a high standard from a young age. Her older brother was always getting awards for academic and athletic achievement, and she was held up to the same high standard. She ended up neglecting other facets of her life in order to make sure she got the best grades. For a while this worked. Her parents were proud of her accomplishments and bragged to their friends about having not just one genius child, but 2. That is until a local private academy for the gifted started to become interested in her, among several other advanced students. She knew that this would be the best opportunity she could have to prove herself as the best child, as the perfect child, but the pressure was high. She knew there was limited spots for new students, and she knew that there would be a test and an essay required to get in. So she became a little desperate. She studied to the point where she would hardly eat and never sleep. As the test closed in, she panicked, and she found an online copy. And during the test, she resorted to cheating. When she was caught, her parents were horrified. She sank into a deep depression, and eventually hung herself to save herself the shame of being an imperfect daughter. You might be wondering now why Lauren Faust would be inspired to make a sweet children's show inspired by such depressing events. Perhaps she felt some odd need to give the girls closure, or perhaps to tell their stories in any way she could. Think about it. In one episode named The Cutie Mark Chronicles, each pony describes of how they each earn one's cutie marks. Rainbow Dash, who was able to make a sonic rainbow on the same day for all the girls to see and to make them be able to earn their cutie marks, clearly makes you tend to wonder about each girl's death in the real world on the same day. And in the show, Fluttershy is able to take care of animals she adores. Rarity's a successful designer with loving parents. Rainbow Dash is in fact a great athlete. Applejack has a successful farm. Pinkie Pie's happy with not a care in the world, and Twilight Sparkle was accepted into an exclusive school. Maybe, just maybe, she wanted to give the spirits of these girls what they always wanted. and I think they're happy.
Dun dun dun.
Alright guys, that's the end of the creepypasta.
That was really interesting.
That was disturbing.
Yeah, it's a bit.
So if you guys enjoyed this and you want more, you can comment down below. Actually, so you can comment down below because he's good with comment system. We might get into that on another video. But if you want to, you can message the channel, and John will keep a check on it. And if you suggest other little things he wants to read, like I said, the sign over the top, we can read them.
Yeah, like I said before, as long as it's not worse than Cupcakes or Rainbow Factory, we're good.
And as long as it doesn't have anything to do with sex. We're not doing that. But yeah, we'll read anything like that, guys. You can keep it MLP, possibly Harry Potter. We might do something with that again. There's a bunch of other different types of fics we might read in the future. We're definitely doing the rest of the theory stuff. I don't know how many there are. I believe there's over 15 or 20 of them.
Like these are all of different shows or the same show? My Little Pony.
There's My Little Pony, there's Rugrats, Hey Arnold.
Oh gosh, the Rugrats one is. I've read the Rugrats one.
Kids Next Door, SpongeBob, Adventure Time. There's a bunch of other ones, guys. And we will probably go through most of them. Unfortunately, I don't know how often these videos will be coming out, and I don't know how often I'll be in videos, so for me, I'm very sorry for that. I just have so much work going right now, but if you want to, because I don't know if you talked about this at all on the channel, you can hear me, John, Brian, me, John, and Brian over on a MP audio series that's going to be coming out soon.
Yeah, hopefully. We're still waiting on
two voice actors.
Two voice actors, yeah.
So if we have to, guys, we don't want to. We might have. If we have to end up replacing them, we'll figure something out with that. But either way it goes, we'll figure something out with that. Let's see, any other random little things. Like I said, guys, go check out the other two videos that we did. They're probably all, I think they're both about 20 minutes apiece. You can check them out. They're pretty funny overall. Especially the first one, since I wasn't in the second one. I don't know how it was. But
it wasn't as funny, but it was kind of funny.
But you can go check those out. And I don't think there's really much anything else we can really say other than, like I said, comment. You can subscribe if you want to like the video. You can do that. And, oh, by the way, another thing right before we leave, I know we'll be leaving quick, but if you guys want, because I know that I've had people ask me this before when I read these fan fictions online, me and John, or me and Brian might start a series up on this channel, talking about actually getting in the form of writing fan fictions. So if you guys want to see that, you can message or whatever. So thank you for watching. I hope we scared the shit out of you. It was really fun. We will continue doing these periodically. And that's about it for me. Anything else you need to add?
I don't think so. I think you pretty much said it all.
Okay. Well, it was fun, guys. We will talk to you later.
This has been Jon and Jason's Creepy Corner.